What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Lions video. Now, yesterday we did a video talking about the Detroit Lions' strong start to the 2021 NFL Draft as they took the #1 offensive tackle in the class in Oregon product, Penei Sewell. If you haven't seen that video, of course, go check it out. We go in depth talking about his stats, his award, his analysis, grading the pick, and going over everything you will need to know before Penei Sewell takes the field. And in today's video, we are going to be doing the same thing with the Detroit Lions' second round pick at the 41st overall pick as they selected Washington's Levi Onwuzurike. Now, before we get into Levi's stats, before we get into his tape, and before we get into the grade and what to expect from him as a Detroit Lion, if you're new to the channel and you are enjoying the content, please consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes just 2 seconds out of your day to do so. It's quick, free, and easy, and you'd be helping the channel out more than you could possibly know. So if you could do that, if you could go like and subscribe, I'd be greatly appreciative for it. But with all that being said, and without any further ado, let's get into Levi Onwuzurike, the Detroit Lions' second round pick of the 2021 draft class. Now, as I said, Levi Onwuzurike was the 41st pick in the 2021 NFL Draft as he was the defensive tackle out of Washington. Now, many people actually had Levi as their defensive tackle 1, and depending on how you look at it, it was really a question between him or Alabama's Christian Barmore. I kind of have things that I like about both over the other, so I did not have them necessarily ranked 1 and 2. It was more 1A and 1B. It was really hard to decide between the two. However, regardless of how you ranked them between either Levi or Christian Barmore being your defensive tackle 1, there's no doubt that the Detroit Lions got a phenomenal prospect and a phenomenal player in the Washington defensive tackle. Now, Levi played 3 seasons as a Washington Husky, played in 39 games for Washington, totaled 95 total tackles, 16 tackles for loss, and 7 sacks in 3 years. Now, those statistics are not phenomenal. Those statistics are not going to pop off the stat sheet, and they are not going to, you're not going to look at those and say, man, that guy is just an absolutely elite player. But just like every player, the stats do not tell the whole story, and especially with him playing the defensive tackle position, rarely as a defensive tackle do you ever put up mind-blowing, like, elite edge rusher or elite pass rusher stats. Now, Levi does stand at 6'2", 290 pounds with an 80-inch wingspan and 32.5-inch arms. He's a little bit undersized. However, undersized defensive tackles is not the weakness that it used to be. I mean, Aaron Donald is significantly undersized for a prototypical defensive tackle. Of course, I'm not saying Levi is going to be Aaron Donald. I'm just saying the fact that Levi is a little bit undersized is, something to take into account, but not something that is going to make or break his NFL career. Now, very similarly to Penei Sewell, the Detroit Lions' first round selection, Levi Onwuzurike was actually considered an elite athlete based on his RAS score. Now, Levi scored an 8.73 grade on his RAS score, making him and putting him in that bracket of elite athletes. He put up 29 reps on the bench press, put up a 30-inch vertical, a 9-foot broad jump, as well as running a 4.88 second 40-yard dash. I mean, this dude is a great athlete, even if he is slightly undersized for the nose tackle position. This dude is a phenomenal athlete. Now, when looking at Levi, when watching his tape, when watching his games, there was a couple things that really stuck out to me. The first of which was that Washington primarily runs a 3-down set. They primarily rush with just 3 pass rushers, very similarly to what we saw Matt Patricia do a season or 2 ago. Now, this led to Levi being double teamed a significant amount of the time. I mean, more times than not, almost, I'd say like 80 to 90% of most games, Levi was double teamed by both a center and a guard. But on the rare occasion that he was one-on-one and the rare occasion that he was singled up against a center or against a guard, he absolutely dominated. Levi shows incredible strength and incredible disruptiveness as a defensive defensive tackle. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, defensive tackle is one of the, if not the hardest position to get your big splash plays, is one of the hardest, if not the hardest position to get recognized and to pop off the screen. And yet time and time again, 3 to 4 plays a game, Levi Onwuzurike just absolutely destroys a guard, absolutely destroys a center, shoves them 5-6 yards in the backfield, makes a flashy tackle for loss, gets an incredible sack, or forces an elite level pressure. I mean, Levi Onwuzurike actually had a 14.2 pressure percentage, which was the highest rate among defensive tackles in the entirety of the 2021 NFL class. He has an incredibly high motor. There is no quit in this guy. He has the mentality to be a phenomenal player for the Detroit Lions. In his first ever press conference, I mean, he was talking about just loving being disruptive, loving to throw game plans off, loving to stop that offensive momentum, loves the feeling of just simply overpowering the person in front of him, shoving him 5-6 yards in the backfield right into the quarterback's face, and he just loves being a disruptive player for the Washington Huskies, and is really hoping and really looking forward to being a disruptive force for the Detroit Lions. I mean, this guy, if anybody's going to bite kneecaps for the Detroit Lions, it's going to be this guy. He has the mentality, he has the strength, he has the explosiveness. He's pretty quick, pretty twitchy, pretty explosive off the offensive line. As I said, is very used to being double teamed, was double teamed a lot as a Washington Husky, and that is not going to happen in the NFL. That is not going to be the case. The Lions and whoever the Lions are playing are not going to be able to double team Levi Onwuzurike every single time, and they're not going to. He's a second round rookie. There's no reason for you to double team him early, and with the fact that that's going to be the case, I think Levi is going to see a lot of significant production early in his NFL career. Now, of course, him being doubled and just the system that Washington played in likely led to the statistical drop-off, likely led to the, some of the production lapses in his play. Of course, as I said, he only had 16 tackles for loss and 7 sacks in 3 years of college football. A lot of that lack in production had to do with him being double teamed. A lot of that lack in production had to do with just the defense that Washington runs. But as I said, he hit a 14.2% pressure percentage. That is the highest percentage of anybody in this draft class. And although Levi may not put up the greatest stats, may not put up the flashiest things on the stat sheet, Levi could be the most disruptive player, and he could be the biggest impact player in the entirety of this 2021 draft class. Levi creates an incredible amount of pressure, an elite pressure rate for a nose tackle. Even being undersized, his elite strength, his really good explosiveness, his never quit attitude, and his high motor leads to all of those pressures. And although he's not always the one to finish the play, that elite disruption, that elite pressure rate for a nose tackle is going to make everybody on the defense better. You think about the defensive line, right? The best games, the best seasons that Lions pass rushers have had, and the best seasons that any pass rusher has in the NFL comes because of elite nose tackle play. If a nose tackle can get significant pressure, can get significant penetration in an offensive line, that's going to force the quarterback to back up. That's going to force the quarterback to drop a little further. That's going to make your edge rusher's job easier, and that's going to lead to them having more production as a duo off the edge. Now, of course, with that pressure getting there, with your edge rushers getting there that much faster, that's going to force that many more mistakes by a quarterback. That's going to allow your linebackers to jump routes. That's going to allow your cornerbacks to jump routes. It's going to allow your cornerbacks to be a little bit more aggressive because the quarterback is going to have to get rid of the ball that much earlier. It's going to lead to sacks. It's going to lead to pressures. It's going to lead to turnovers. And all of it is going to stem back to Levi Onwuzurike playing at an incredibly high level for the Detroit Lions. Personally, I think Levi was the number one defensive tackle in the class for what the Lions were looking for the scheme that they were looking to fit with a defensive tackle. Levi, in my opinion, fit the Lions a little bit better than Christian Barmore. I think Christian Barmore was a higher floor kind of a guy, but I think Onwuzurike has a significantly higher ceiling, especially and significantly as a pass rusher. He's going to be a great player for the Detroit Lions. He's going to start day one, and don't be surprised if he, is not, at the end of the season, he may not have the flashiest stats. At the end of the season, you might even see Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, the other big name at the time taken around that area. You might even see him be more productive as a player. You might see him realistically get more sacks than what you're going to see out of Levi. But what I will say is Levi is likely never going to light up the stat sheet. He's likely never going to be an Aaron Donald type guy. He's never going to be talked about as a top nose tackle or a top defensive tackle in the NFL. However, when you're watching football on Sundays, when you're watching Levi and when you're watching this Detroit Lions defense, watch for all the pressure. Watch Levi push two guys into the backfield. Watch when he is singled up against a center. Watch him absolutely demolish and throw offensive linemen into the backfield, creating pressure, forcing turnovers, and letting everything run through him. Levi in his own right is a phenomenal player. Levi Onwuzurike in his own right is a really, really good defensive tackle. But this pick, this selection with the 41st overall pick, doesn't just add a good player to the defensive line. It makes everybody on the roster better. It makes everybody playing on the field better at the same time. And you are not going to find a much better player, and you're not going to find much better value in the draft than that. Now, with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think about the Detroit Lions what do you think about the Detroit Lions second round selection in Washington defensive tackle Levi Onwuzurike? Did you like the pick? Did you want Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah a little bit more? Was there another guy that you were hoping the Lions were going to pick, or was Levi your guy the whole way? Let me know down in the comments below what you think about the pick, what you think about the player, and how impactful you think he's going to be in his rookie season. But with all that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you all so very much for watching the video, and until next time, and as always, go Lions!